The UX 360 Research Summit Europe 2026 is back for its sixth edition in Berlin on the 23rd and 24th of June. UX 360 Europe is one of Europe's leading events dedicated to advancing UX research as a strategic and business driving function. The summit brings together global speakers, practical case study, and actionable frameworks focused on the full research journey, from planning and execution to stakeholder alignment and business impact. Attendees can expect sessions on cutting-edge strategy, real-world return on investment, and the evolving role of research in today's organization. I will be there as well. And if you work in UX research, design, or product, this is truly one of the unmissable UXR events in Europe. And as a listener of the UX Research Club podcast, you get 15% off on your ticket with the code UXRC15. UXRC15. All the information will be in the note of this podcast. Hello everybody and welcome. This is Emmanuelle and you are listening to the UX Research Club, the podcast dedicated to the field of UX research. Who is this podcast for? It is for everyone interested in UX, product development, digital transformation, and of course, AI integration. Whether you are working in a large organization or a startup or a consultant or a freelancer, this podcast is for you. It is also for the researchers stepping into leadership for the first time, the product manager who want to understand how research shapes decision making, the designer who collaborates closely with UXR, and the curious mind who simply want to learn how evidence can transform organization. Today's episode is a special one. As many of you know, I've just released my new book, The UX Research Powerhouse, the foundation of strategic UX research leadership, published under my imprint UXR Press London. So, in this episode, I want to take you behind the scenes of the book, why I wrote it, how it came to life, and what I hope it will bring to our field. I will read a short extract from the author's note, the part that set the tone for everything that follows. So, let's dive in. Before I read the extract, let me tell you why I choose this particular section. The author's note is always the heart of a book. It's where you remove the framework and the structure and speak directly to the reader, the most honest part where you explain why this book exists. So here is the extract. Author's note, the UX Research Powerhouse, or a confidence boost for every research leader who ever felt like an imposter. I didn't write this book because I had all the answers. I wrote it because I've been in a room where no one had the answers and someone needed to speak up. UX research isn't brand new anymore, but it's still maturing. The foundation of our work hasn't changed. Understanding people, framing problems, and driving better decisions. However, the context around us is constantly evolving with new technologies, new ways of working, and shifting expectations. As leaders, we must adapt, remain curious, and continue learning. That's what makes us even more essential. I've led research through ambiguity, restructures, product pivots, and pressure from above. I've seen brilliant researchers dismissed as nice to have. I fought to prove their value time and again. This book isn't theory. It is the accumulation of experience, pattern, recognition, and the truth no one tells you when you step into leadership. And truthfully, I wish I had this book when I started. I wish I had people who came from research themselves, people who understood that leading research is not the same as leading design, product, or engineering, even if we are part of the same ecosystem. I wish I had people who knew that research had its own rhythm, challenges, and invisible work, and that managing it requires more than good intentions. I have moments of doubt. Yes, I've questioned whether I was senior enough, strategic enough, loud enough. The truth is, none of that mattered when I led with clarity, conviction, and a genuine care for the craft. So if you are reading this and wondering if you belong in the room, you do. If you're wondering if your voice matters, it does. And if you ever felt like a powerhouse stuck in a service box, this is your way out. So now that you heard a little bit about the author's note, I want to take you behind the scene, how this book came into life. This is actually my second book. My first book was Practical User Research, came out in 2020. This book is different, more personal, more strategic, and much more closer to how I think and work today. It's not a method book. It's not a toolkit. It is the accumulation of years of lived experience, leading teams, navigating complexity, building processes, and identifying the patterns that shape a profession. Over time, I realized and I was forming a clearer vision of what UX research is to me and what it can bring to the organization. For me, UX research is not a service function. It is not just usability testing. It is a strategic force. It brings clarity in ambiguity, protect investment, and anchor organization in reality, especially in moments of uncertainty or transformation, whether digital and now AI-driven. I wrote this book because I wanted to articulate that vision, to give researchers, managers, and leaders a roadmap that is practical, honest, and grounded in the real challenge we face. And if I'm honest, I wrote the book I wish I had when I stepped into leadership, with very little guidance, no handbook, and no real example to follow. So, this book is a accumulation of everything I learned, the process I built, the mistakes I made a lot actually, and the team I shaped, the executive I influenced, and the moment where research fundamentally shifts the direction of a product, a decision, or even a culture. So why this book matter now? We are entering a new era of UX research. AI is shaping how we work, how organizations operate, and how decisions are made. And in many teams, researchers are once again at risk of being pushed to the margins unless we step forward with clarity, confidence, and a strategy. This book is both a guide and an invitation to lead with intent, to expand our influence, and to shape the future of the discipline. And my final reflection before we close this episode is I want to share one final thought. Writing this book wasn't just about documenting my experience. It was about giving something back to the UX community, especially more UXR community. Over the years, I've met so many talented researchers who doubted themselves, who didn't see their own value, and who felt stuck in an environment that underestimated that research could bring. And if there is one message I want you to take away from this book and from today's episode, it is you are allowed to be ambiguous for this field. You are allowed to have a vision for research. And you are allowed to take up space as a leader, even if the organization around you hasn't caught up yet. UX research has a profound role to play in the future of product development, AI integration, and organizational strategy. And the more we lead with clarity and confidence, the more intentionally we shape that future. So, thank you for listening. And if you like to read the full book, it is available on Amazon worldwide. You can also order signed copy directly to me. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or contact me through the chat on the podcast. And if today's episode resonates with you, please share it with someone in your network, another researcher, a product manager, or everyone stepping into leadership. This is Emmanuelle, and you've been listening to the UX Research Club. Until next time, keep learning, keep leading, and keep building the powerhouse.